What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to be breaking down, talking about the latest episode of NXT that happened. It's the 4th of September, no? Yeah. So the 3rd of September, as of recording, it's 4th September, but the 3rd of September 2024 NXT episode. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, storylines, how they're progressing. Are they progressing well? Are they not progressing well? Do we like them? Just the episode of NXT, what is going on in the pro wrestling world down in Florida, right? I'm pretty sure they're in Florida, right? I hope so. Well, I'm going to look an absolute fool. So, let's break down the episode. What happened? Did we like it? Did we not? Where do we think it's going? You know, Joe Hendry wasn't on it. Not happy. But at least Ethan Page will be on it. No, Ethan Page wasn't on it either. So, we haven't got the world champion on. Wonderful. That's my first complaint. I mean, I'm no point complaining, but I want Ethan Page, bro. At least Ethan Page. If we're not gonna have Joe Hendry, fine. All right, he's TNA as well. Fine, he can go over TNA every now and again. But we'd rather have him. But if we're not even gonna have Ethan Page, what are we doing? It's like having an episode of Raw without having Gunther, an episode of SmackDown without having Cody Rhodes. Like Cody Rhodes opens every show on SmackDown pretty much. What are we here to talk about? You know. So what are we here to talk about? So let's talk about the Roxanne Perez promo. I thought it was pretty good. The basis of a promo was she's saying how she's smashing records, how she's the best of all time, and even women on the main roster are talking about her, so she is the main topic right now. She's saying how she's the money fight, you know. It's always going to be Roxanne versus X, Roxanne versus this person, Roxanne versus this one, but the result will always be the same, and no one can take a belt, no matter who you are. And then she says, not even the hottest free agent from Japan. Obviously hinting at Julia, which is spelled really weird, so I'm just going to call it Gulia because that's how it's fucking spelled. Good promo, I liked it. Good mic skills because you know she's in developmental, you know, whatever you want to call it. She's in NXT, she's starting up, she's not on the main roster yet, and for that she's very good on the mic. Then it blacks out, so we expect Julia. I'm going to call her Gulia. If you don't mind, I'm going to call her Gulia. I'm not calling Julia. You don't spell Julia that way. Gulia. Blackout, we expect Gulia to come out, but to my surprise and happiness, because I think she's really, really good as well, like really insane, Chelsea Green comes out and she goes, oh, we were expecting someone else. Then she insults the crowd with fat lumps of lard, saying that, you know, they stink of BO and, you know, you need to know what deodorant is and all that kind of stuff. However, she said she is beloved by the fans, which is true. We do love her, and she'll do anything for the fans, except from some that are creepy, which I mean, you see the guy in the front row with the beard, he looks pretty creepy if you don't ask me. And she says that she's the number one contender. I don't mind. I'm happy seeing Chelsea Green on my TV every day, you know, if you know what I mean. So if Chelsea Green's going to be on TV on NXT with Roxanne Perez, I don't mind. I'm all for it. However, another blackout, and then Gulia comes out. Nothing much, just enters the ring, stares off of Chelsea. Chelsea goes to hit her. She knocks her out with a knee, out cold, see you later. And she goes up to Roxanne, has a face with Roxanne, and goes, me, you, CW. Basically, because obviously NXT is going to be on CW, they're going to be in Chicago with Punk, and they're going to be in St. Louis with Randy Orton in the arenas. Hopefully that does well. I'd love to see NXT in an arena, because then it really is established as an equal to SmackDown and Raw, because obviously Triple H says NXT is equal to SmackDown versus Raw. No, it's not, because if you can't sell out an arena, you're not equal to SmackDown and Raw. There's a reason they're in that small performance center. It's because they can't sell enough tickets, because they're not equal to SmackDown versus Raw. But if they start doing arena shows, that would be brilliant, because I do love NXT. If they start doing arena shows, brilliant. But obviously, still, even now, they can't really do it. That's why they've had to have CM Punk and Randy Orton just to help ticket sales, because they're not going to do it by themselves. You're not going to have Ethan Page, Oba Femi, Joe Hendry, Trick Williams. You're not going to have them sell out an arena by themselves, really. For a pay-per-view, for TakeOver, sure, but, well, TakeOver, no mercy. They need to stop calling them TakeOvers, bro. You had Oba Femi versus Stax. Good match. Oba was doing more of what I think he should do, because his match with Tony D'Angelo at No Mercy annoyed me a bit, because he's such a big guy, but yet he does a lot of the moves normal sized guys will do, and I don't think that really fits him very well. It doesn't help him. He's a big guy. Utilize that. Use that. If you're a big guy, don't be doing normal things that other guys do. Oh, forearm, punch, kick to the punch. No. Throw him around the ring. Chuck him around the ring. Look big. Act big. And he's doing a lot of that. Really beating up Stax, just hurling him around like he was a child. Looks at Tony D'Angelo, says, you did this, because Tony's looking pretty The Don is looking pretty what's the word? Cautious? No, what's the word? Concerned. Tony's looking pretty concerned for Stacks. And Oba says, "You did this. It's your fault." Stacks manages to bounce back a bit, but then unfortunately Oba yeets him across. That was no pun. That was no hint. Yeets him across the ring, pop-up powerbomb, and pins him while staring at Tony. So we might be hopefully getting this rivalry with these Italian mob, the Godfathers. That's what I'm going to call them. We might be having this rivalry go on a bit longer, which I don't mind. Anything Oba Femi does, I'm invested in. So, yeah, this rivalry is clearly going to go on a bit longer, and I've got no problem with that. We also had Ora Mensah versus Lexis King. Again, match was fine. Bit of a heated moment, though, because Lexis is like, your father should have burnt in ashes, all this kind of stuff. And Ora Mensah goes absolutely crazy, just unleashes on Lexis King. Referee has to step in the middle of it, kind of distracting Ora Mensah. And then Lexis King gets the dirty pin, feet on the ropes, and gets the win. And Oro chases him backstage. We also got Paxley with the win. But then unfortunately for her, Rosemary and Wendy Chu attacked him. But then again, Lyra Valkyrie to the rescue again, because it was on Raw. I was going to upload a Raw episode, but the camera was absolutely bollocked. So it was the wrong way around. So it would have been absolutely pointless. But Lyra Valkyrie, who did she rescue? She rescued who fought? Who was it? Zelina Vega. I swear she rescued Zelina Vega on Raw. So Lyra Valkyria, her and Pete Dunne have got a heavy schedule. You got Pete Dunne going from Raw to NXT, and you got Lyra Valkyria going from Raw to NXT. You give these guys a raise, that's what I say. As well, we had Javon Evans versus Joe Coffey. Now I'm just saying, bit of biased, I'm sure, but I love Joe Coffey. I watched him in NXT UK. Loved everything he did. His feud with Walter was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I beg, doesn't have to be now, but in the next 6 months at least, at most next 6 months, let's get Joe Coffey in a main rivalry with Oba Femi for the North American title, or with Ethan Page. But I feel like Ethan's going to have problems with Joe and Trick, maybe even Pete Dunne for a little bit while longer. But please get Joe Coffey in a title rivalry. I don't care who, just get Joe Coffey up there because I love him. Anyway, Javon Evans, he obviously starts the match off fucking flying over the top rope. Great match from the both of them. Nothing to really complain about. They're both just absolutely fucking amazing in the ring. He does this tippy top spinny splash thing, gets the win unfortunately. I got nothing against Javon Evans, but I just prefer Joe Coffey. And gets the win. And obviously goes to celebrate with Cedric Alexander. Let's get Cedric as well. We love a bit of Cedric Alexander. I don't like that he's with Javon Evans, because I'm not too invested in Javon Evans, to be honest, but I do love Cedric Alexander. So it's a shame that they're together, because I don't care about I don't care about Javon Evans' success, really, but I do about Cedric's. So we had Parker versus Nix. Yeah, match was what it was. Wasn't amazing. Wasn't shit. Gives her hip finisher, which I wouldn't mind taking, to be honest. And then Fatal Influence, obviously come and attack her. Pretty predictable. That's what you're gonna get. And then we had Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne. Obviously excited for this one. Who doesn't love a bit of Trick Williams? Who doesn't love a bit of Pete Dunne? Also, actually no, I don't love a bit of Pete Dunne when it comes to the mic. He is absolutely shocking on the mic. It doesn't help that his accent's so strong, but he's absolutely shocking on the mic. However, in ring, beautiful. So yeah, Trick doesn't even make it to the ring. He runs straight at him, and they have a massive brawl outside. Eventually get back into the ring, and just keep on fighting. They end up outside, have a really crazy table spot, where they're basically on the barrier and they jump and like they do kind of like a Russian leg sweep from the barrier onto the table. Both get counted out. And what was really funny is the whole arena, the whole venue was chanting that the ref sucks, which I thought was pretty funny. And they didn't care. They didn't care the match was over. It really showed how bitter this rivalry is. They just carried on fighting. Yeah, they both been counted out. The match was over. It was called a draw. They didn't care. They carried on fighting and kept on beating the shit out of each other. So these two really hate each other. And look, I don't mind. Let's have Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne as a rivalry, and let's keep Joe and Ethan together. Because, yeah, I like Trick. I like Pete. but I believe in Joe Hendry, and I love Ethan Page. Those two are my favourite from NXT. If I'm going to say my favourites, my Raw favourite's Gunther, SmackDown favourite is LA Knight, AEW, MJF, but then when it comes to NXT, Joe Hendry and Ethan Page are my favourites. So let's keep those two together. And let's let Trick have a little side quest with Pete Dunne, but let's have Trick still win though. And then we had the triple tag number one contenders match between Hank and Tank. What a name. Hank and Tank, Gallus, and the Rascals. Some good moments. Hank and Tank showing, again, their strength, their size. They clash together, the Rascals, and then even Gallus try and get involved, and even they can't handle it. And they do that fucking the splash thing on Gallus, whatever that. I just made that noise on video. I'm going to upload this video, and I've just made that noise. Wonderful. And then out of nowhere, Javon Evans attacks Joe Coffey. Again, I'm telling you, let's get Joe Coffey in there. If we're going to have... I don't mind how long they have the Ethan Page, Joe Hendry rivalry, but if that's going to last a long time, which I don't really mind if it does, let's have Joe Coffey in there with Oba Femi, and that'll be insane. That's literally like Joe Coffey versus Walter, but Walter stayed in the sun too long. That is brilliant. Let's do Joe Coffey versus Oba Femi. Two titans clashing. And hey, I don't mind who wins that, to be honest. Joe Coffey wins it, brilliant. I love Joe Coffey. Change their theme song back though. I prefer their old theme song. They don't need to remix it. But if Oba Femi wins, fine. Who doesn't love a bit of Oba Femi? Yeah, and also the Good Brothers come. I mean, who asked for the Good Brothers? Like, I actually couldn't care less about the Good Brothers. Get lost. I couldn't give a fuck. I genuinely couldn't give a fuck. I don't know why anyone wanted them back. Probably AJ had something to do with it, saying, oh, can we have Gallus and Anderson back? I love AJ. He's my favourite of all time. But I do not give a fuck about your boys. Get them off TV. The Rascals win. Double knees off the top rope. Swanton. And the Rascals get the W. They are now the number one contenders for the NXT titles from Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Yeah, good episode. Again, why didn't we have the world champ? I would have loved to see at least Ethan Page. I know we saw Pete Dunne, and I know we saw Roxanne Dunne, Trick Williams, but mate, come on, like, even if it's just a 5-minute promo or just a backstage segment of Ethan Page or Joe Hendry or both. Hopefully, I'm sure we'll see him next week. At least Ethan Page. But yeah, good show. SmackDown on Friday. And yeah, we're now just on the road to Halloween Havoc and No Mercy. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. Please subscribe. Let's grow together. And yeah, that was pretty gay. Let's grow together. What are you talking about? But yeah, please subscribe, like, anything. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. I'm fucking... what's the name? Jacob Fatu. See you later.